and welcome to the Eden Whale Festival. My name is Dr Vanessa Pirotta, and I'm a wildlife scientist. Now, specifically, my work is focused in the marine environment, where I research humpback whales as my main study species. Just like you, I'm very, very passionate about whales, and this is a fantastic annual opportunity for us to come together to learn about whales, to enjoy community events, and also to enjoy this fantastic location. Whales are a truly special marine animal in our lives, and annually they make this migration to Australian waters. Just like we do, these animals are very social. We can talk to each other, we may sing, and also they live very complex and structured lives. I hope that this festival is an opportunity for you all to learn a lot more and also to share with some of the new insights that we have about whales. For me, I absolutely love whales, and growing up as a young girl, I always wanted to do anything and everything to be near them. So it's this fascination that truly drives a lot of the research that my team and myself do to learn more about whales and to help preserve and conserve their environment. I hope that you learn lots today, and I hope that you enjoy all the festivities that is to come with the Eden Whale Festival. Welcome once again, and I hope you enjoy your time here. Eden has always been a very special place for me as a whale watcher. In fact, you might not know this, but I grew up on a farm outside of Canberra. So my very first official whale trip, or at least I should say whale watching trip, was down here in Eden. Now, after a shift at a zoo in Canberra, I then packed my bags, came down for the weekend, where I was able to see killer whales for the very first time and humpback whales feeding. Now, at the time, I didn't really understand the significance of that, but to see killer whales is very special, no doubt. But to also see humpback whales feeding was very, very special, because fast forward a few years later, last year, my team and I were the first to publish in the scientific literature on the supergroup feeding events that happened around in this area, which is very exciting. So there's definitely significance in this area, but also Eden holds a huge significance for myself. The humpback whales are just one animal which people flock to see, but to see a killer whale and the history of killer whales in this area is not only unique, but something worth sharing between cultures and generations to come. This truly is a very special place, not only to me, but also to many of the people here today. Now, did you know whales are actually really important for our marine environment and important for both you and I? That's right. Whales play important ecological roles that help the functioning of our marine system. So one of the ways that they do this is by feeding in one area and then traveling to other areas and then pooing. This then transfers nutrients from one place to another and feeds different levels of organisms in the marine environment. Another really important role of whales is that when they die, these animals may float at the surface, where then sharks and other creatures might take advantage of their bodies, which is a good thing. And then eventually they will fall to the bottom of the ocean. And this is known as a whale fall. This then feeds organisms at a different level in the marine ecosystem. Now, my team and I are really focused on trying to ask questions about whales and collect juicy bodily fluids from them without them even knowing about it. One of the ways we do this is by using drones to collect lung bacteria, also known as whale snot. And you can also collect skin samples from when they jump, as well as that poo samples. So there's a whole host of things that we can learn from whales to learn more about our ocean. And through whale snot, we've been able to prove that these animals are a great opportunity to learn more about connectivity between Antarctica and Australia. Fortunately, our work not only looked at bacteria, but we're the first in the world to collect viruses from whales using drones, which showed us that there's direct links, or at least viruses that we collected, were associated with areas in Antarctica, which is really interesting. Eden and the Sapphire Coast is really a special place. This is a place of significance both for First Nations people and also many generations of whale watchers. Now, recently, our research has shown that this area seems to be a hotspot for whale activity that we've never seen on such great numbers. So, for example, the observations of supergroup feeding events by humpback whales is something truly special. Now, for those who don't know, a few years ago, in fact, 2 years ago, ecotourism operators and citizen scientists through the pandemic were able to keep going out, doing their wonderful thing, and observed whales feeding in big, big numbers. Now, these big numbers involved more than 20 or more humpback whales. In some cases, there were up to 90 whales in one spot, feeding within 5 body lengths of each other. Now, this is known as a supergroup feeding event, and the only other place in the Southern Hemisphere this has been observed was in South Africa. In addition to that, we also saw whales use bubbles to feed. That's right, using bubbles. This is where they deliberately will blow bubbles from their nostrils, which is on top of their head, and blow a bubble net around their prey. Now, they can do this alone or cooperatively with another whale. As well as that, many, many years on, or I should say at least 2, where we are now, we still have observations of whales not only bubble net feeding, but feeding in this area. And in addition to the humpback whales, there's southern right whales and the significance of Brutus whales, which is read brides, but actually pronounced Brutus, feeding in these areas. In fact, it was only recently that there was a fantastic drone footage of a Brutus whale feeding in Twofold Bay. So this area is not only really significant for whales, but for people. There's cultural connections, First Nations representation here to highlight the importance of whales in their culture. This truly is a very special place and an appropriate place to be celebrating whales through the Eden Whale Festival.